Hey guys, welcome back to OrmsTV. In today's video, I am going to take you through what I carry in my personal gear bag. Now, I know what you all are thinking, Deon, literally nobody asked for this video, and that's very true, but I've also been stuck indoors for 4 weeks and I'm running out of things to talk about, so we are going to talk about my gear bag. But before we dive into that, if you enjoy the content that we put out, please consider subscribing to our channel. It really helps us out a lot. Let's dive in and have a look at what I carry in my personal gear bag. Now, the actual bag that I use is a think tank Retrospective, and it is a shoulder bag. I'm not really big on backpacks when it comes to carrying my actual photographic equipment. Now, this is the Retrospective 5. It's one of the smallest bags in the Retrospective range from Think Tank. I've always been a fan of Think Tank's bags, specifically the Retrospective series. I just love the design of it. It's so simple and classic. The quality that you get out of these bags is quite phenomenal. This specific bag I've owned for about 5 years now, and it still looks pretty much exactly as it did the day that I bought it. You've got a flap in the front here that keeps all your gear safe, secures down with Velcro. It has a little rain cover as well if you get caught outside and it starts storming. Really a very nice bag to have and to carry your gear around in. But now let's look at what's actually inside of it. There she is. This is my Leica. There are many like it, but this one is mine. This specific camera is a Leica M-E Typ 220. These first came out in about 2013, I believe, the beginning of 2013. So it's by no means a new modern camera. The Leica M-E here has a 18 megapixel full frame CCD sensor, and that's not something that you find very often these days. In fact, CCD sensors have pretty much disappeared out of professional cameras in favor of more contemporary CMOS sensors. But CCD sensors do have a place, and they do render a rather unique color science, which for me at least is almost more film-like than what you find in CMOS sensors. This camera here I've owned for about 2 years now. This camera goes with me absolutely everywhere. It never leaves my bag. I have to have this thing with me wherever I go. A couple of years ago, Leica and this specific camera really saved my love of photography. At the time, just before I got this camera, I didn't really enjoy photography all that much. I rarely took photographic gear with me when I went out, when I went hiking, walking around. It almost became too complicated. Then I got myself this camera. It really reignited my love of photography. It's so simple, so elegant, so beautifully made. I absolutely love it for reigniting that passion of mine. Now, the lens that I have on my camera here is a Leica Summichron-M 50mm f2 lens. Yeah, it is a manual focus lens. Leica's M series cameras are all rangefinder system cameras, and they are all manual focus. You might think that's quite irritating, and yes, in the beginning it absolutely was. When I first got this camera, I really struggled to get to grips with that. Now, I'm going to interrupt myself here and just say one thing. I am not a professional photographer. I do not create images for clients, and I do not get paid for any of my photography. For me, photography is something to enjoy and something that is just for myself, just for me personally. Take that in light of what I'm going to say now. Yes, having a manual focus only camera can be extremely frustrating, but there is a purpose behind it. These cameras forces you to slow down the entire act of capturing an image. When you look through your viewfinder here and you start to manually focus the lens, it forces you to consider your composition, your framing, the elements within your frame, and to really take ownership of exactly where you want the point of sharpest focus to be, because you are in absolute, complete and manual control of that. And that really takes you back to a far more simpler time and a simpler act of photography. And for me, that is quite beautiful, and I really love it. And that is another reason why I really enjoy this specific camera and why it literally lives with me and goes with me absolutely everywhere. Now, the last element that I have on my camera here is the strap, and this is the Peak Design slide strap. I'm not really a big fan of neck straps, and I prefer to have the camera hang over my shoulder or cross body, and the Peak Design slide is the best strap that I found for that. I really enjoy them. I like the little anchors that they use, and you can very simply unclip your camera if you want to take the strap off and just have the camera itself, or very easily just hook it back in. Nice and secure, really solid. I like that strap.
I like that
Strap.
That is a nice
Strap. So in addition to cables and chargers and little cleaning cloths and all sorts of stuff like that, I also always have this little thing on me. That's a Rode VideoMicro, and it's a great little microphone, amazing bang for your buck. There's a lot of instances where I like to capture a little bit of video, 99% of the time just on my cell phone, and having a dedicated microphone is great for adding a little bit of extra audio quality. So this is usually just for my own personal use, and from time to time when I need a little bit of fill-in shooting a video like a review or something, and I don't always have Jess around with her massive Canon C200 and audio equipment. So this is an absolute must-have. Now, because just like everybody else, I always have my cell phone on me, and there's always maybe an opportunity where I want to record some video, I always carry this with me, and this is my DJI Osmo Mobile 2. It is an incredible little gimbal. It really takes your cell phone footage just up that little notch. It really makes a difference when you do have to shoot a little bit of fill-in footage or just some video for yourself. Having that stability is excellent. And then to mount the microphone with this, I usually just use a bracket, which unfortunately I don't have with me right this second, and I'll have the microphone sitting over here. Pretty straightforward little setup to get some really good video and audio out of your cell phone. Okay, so let's pack all of this away, and I'll talk about the other side of the gear that I carry around with me, and that is test gear for reviews, for blog posts, anything like that, and that can become quite a lot of equipment. So just to give you an idea, this is one of the additional bags that I pretty much always have with me. In the background there somewhere is a Pelican case filled with lenses and stuff like that. This is just some of the gear that I'll have with me on test from various manufacturers. Right now I have a Nikon D780. Now, we actually did a full review on this camera a couple of months back when it first came out, and I have a long-term test to put through its paces and see what it's like to live with on a day-to-day basis with one of these cameras. I also have a Canon EOS M6 Mark II with me. Now, this unit we never actually did a review on because a sample unit wasn't available to us at the time when the camera first came out, but I have one now and pretty much living with it every day, and I'll be sure to bring you guys an in-depth review of this unit a little bit later on. Then I also have a little Canon Ivy with me. This is more of a less serious camera, a bit of fun for the younger folks out there, or for families who aren't too serious about photography and just want a fun little rugged camera that they can cart around. Again, we will do a little something with this for you guys later on. And then, because I count myself extremely lucky to have this job that I have and be allowed to review gear and play with all of this fun equipment, I am also lucky enough to have a long-term loan of a Leica M10 from Leica South Africa. All the loan gear that I have, this is by far my favorite. I absolutely love this camera, and this fights for my attention with my own Leica M-E. Many cases we have equipment that has not been released yet, pre-production samples, stuff that I can't show you unfortunately. So right now, that's just a little sample of what I also carry around. So that wraps up my what's in my gear bag video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please smash that thumbs up icon down there. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. We love hearing from you guys and we'll answer every single question. So guys, please stay safe, take care of each other, and until next time, cheers.